Episode 1. 19-year-old Sahashi Minato faces yet another failure in his college entrance exam and shares the results with his concerned mother. On his way home, he stumbles upon news of MBI acquiring 80% of the city's stocks, sparking his curiosity about the company's wealth. Feeling disheartened over his exam setbacks, Minato hopes to find a girlfriend. With MC Luck by his side, an energetic Sekirei named Musubi falls from the sky onto him, closely pursued by two Sekirei. After barely escaping from the lightning Sekirei, Minato feeds Musubi fast food to curb her hunger. Musubi, with nowhere else to go, stays with Minato despite the apartment's no-woman policy. She explains the concept of an ashikabi, someone she holds dear and seeks to guide to greater heights. At the bank, Minato encounters Musubi's pursuers, the twins Hikari and Hibiki, who chase her relentlessly. In an alleyway, Musubi kisses Minato, making him her ashikabi, granting her strength to face the twins. Returning home, Minato is unexpectedly addressed by Professor Hiroto, the MBI president, who reveals the Sekirei plan, a game-like competition between different Sekirei and their ashikabi. Hiroto warns Minato to keep it confidential or face dire consequences. Minato's landlord discovers him with Musubi, leading to an eviction notice. While searching for a new place, Minato grows desolate, causing Musubi to uplift his spirits by taking him to the moon. Episode 2. After an eventful landing in Miya Asama's yard, Kagari comes to Minato's aid, while Miya dresses Musubi in a kimono. During dinner, Uzume joins the group, and Minato notices they don't seem related. Miya reveals that Kagari and Uzume are her tenants, prompting Minato to request a room at the Izumo Inn. Miya, touched by memories of her late husband's kindness, grants Minato's request. Minato's younger sister, Yukari, surprises him with clothes for Musubi, and after a brief visit, Yukari takes her leave. While carrying their luggage, Musubi explains the concept of Sekirei prayers, which grant them strength. At the inn, Musubi and Uzume share a bath, during which Uzume reveals her Sekirei identity. Meanwhile, Minato encounters a visage of a girl asking for help. A fistful confrontation arises between the Sekirei, but Miya intervenes to prevent a fight. Meanwhile, Kagari, also known as Homura, encounters Tsukumi, urging her to find an ashikabi. Refusing to submit to a mere human, Tsukumi declares she'll never find an ashikabi. While sleeping, Minato is visited by Kusuno, who asks for help. Minato assures Kusuno that it's okay to jump and catches her safely. Tearfully, Kusuno cryptically reveals that she landed herself in trouble due to her selfishness. The dream is then broken by Musubi, who wakes Minato up. Episode 3. After a restless night, Minato wakes up to find Miya training in the yard. Impressed by her skills, Musubi requests a sparring match with Miya. Later, Minato works hard as a part-time construction worker and shares his lunch with a hungry Seo Kaoru during the break. Suddenly, they're attacked by Kaoru's Sekirei, Hikari, and Hibiki. Kaoru informs Minato about the Green Girl, stating that all ashikabi will be hunting her. Deciding to join forces with Kaoru and his Sekirei, Minato ventures into an overgrown botanical garden. In the meantime, Musubi grows worried and sets out to find Minato. Meanwhile, Homura tries to protect Kusuno and is confronted by Yomi, who claims to be taking the Green Girl for her master. Yomi taunts Homura as a failed Sekirei, working as a guardian, and asks Akitsu to step in and fight Homura. Before their fight, Homura realizes that Akitsu is a Forsaken. On the other hand, Kaoru explains that Sekirei gain wings when in contact with an ashikabi's mucus, and an ashikabi can force this to claim more Sekirei. Minato arrives just in time to save Kusuno from Yomi's forceful attempt to take her. Musubi also appears, and a fierce battle ensues, leading to Musubi's victory and Yomi losing her Sekirei status. After bringing Kusuno home, she chooses Minato as her ashikabi, cementing their bond by kissing his lips. Episode 4. The next day, Minato notices Kusuno's sadness and asks her about it. Tearfully, she reveals her worry for a Sekirei named Shina, who cared for her as much as he does. Kusuno reveals that Shina possesses powers opposite to hers. At work, Minato learns that Kaoru quit, leaving him upset as he wanted to ask a fellow ashikabi for advice. To his surprise, he finds Kaoru at the Izumo Inn, where Mia reveals their friendship through her late husband. Grateful for Kaoru's help with Kusuno, Minato and Kaoru become friends. At night, Kusuno encounters a strange woman in the bathroom, causing her distress. The next day, while Mia visits her husband's grave, Musubi takes charge of the household chores. Unbeknownst to them, a mysterious Sekirei spies on their activities. Elsewhere, Shina and Yukari cross paths. As Shina gets attacked by Sekirei, Yukari jumps to his rescue. Musubi explains to Minato that the one who loses the Sekirei battle gets separated from their ashikabi, while the last victor gets to remain eternally with their ashikabi as a reward. Meanwhile, the Sekirei spying on them declares war on Musubi, envious of her closeness with Minato. While Musubi steps out, the mysterious Sekirei sends a missile to attack her and ambushes Minato in the bathroom. Episode 5. Minato finds himself trapped by the Sekirei named Matsu, who expresses her desire to become his Sekirei. Musubi intervenes, leading to Matsu trapping her instead. Just when Matsu's about to achieve her goal, Mia reprimands her for her behavior. After dressing up, Mia reveals Matsu as another tenant and shows them her hidden room. It turns out the woman seen by Kusuno was Matsu herself. She discloses that she lives mysteriously due to being chased by MBI since leaving him. Elsewhere, Homura confronts Mitsuha and Akitsu for pursuing Shina. After driving them away, Homura curses his weak body. Fortunately, Tsukumi comes to his aid, determined to defeat him herself. That night, Matsu becomes Minato's ashikabi. The next day, Minato has a dream about Tsukumi reaching out to him and expressing her intentions to kill him. Confused, Minato decides to ask Matsu about the Sekirei project and his dream. She explains that Phase 1, where all Sekirei gain their wings, is complete, and Phase 2, a battle royale, is about to begin. Moreover, Matsu informs Minato that an ashikabi who has more Sekirei by their side has more chances of winning the game. Minato then reveals his dream about a Sekirei reaching out to him. After researching, Matsu discovers it's Tsukumi trying to reach him, a Sekirei known for her hatred for ashikabis. The following day, Minato and Tsukumi finally meet. Tsukumi, feeling drawn to Minato, tries to deny her feelings by declaring her intent to slay him. Episode 6. Kuro and his Sekirei witness Tsukumi causing chaos for Minato and Kusuno. Despite his attempts to talk to Tsukumi, she continues to unleash her wrath. Eventually, Tsukumi agrees to hear him out. As Minato reveals his wish for her to become his Sekirei, Tsukumi loses her calm and unleashes even more power. Hikari and Hibiki intervene, using the power of their wings to attack Tsukumi. Minato jumps in to protect her, causing Kuro to also step in, as he backs Tsukumi into a corner and tries to calm her as his Sekirei. Tsukumi realizes her true desire is to be with Minato. Kuro, being a true friend, asks Minato about his next move, silently pushing him to man up and claim Tsukumi. As expected, Minato clarifies that Tsukumi is his Sekirei, leading Kuro to back off. Tsukumi, though embarrassed, claims to be Minato's wife from now on and kisses him. But her joy is short-lived as she discovers Minato has 4 Sekirei, sparking jealousy. Back at the inn, Minato learns that Mia knew about the Sekirei project from the beginning due to her husband's involvement. Alone with Minato, Kusuno asks about his feelings. Minato admits he likes all of his Sekirei as they chose someone like him, with no talents. Kusuno expresses her desire to be his bride when she grows up, leaving a heartwarming smile on Minato's face. Meanwhile, in the bath, Tsukumi and Musubi realize they have been one-upped by Kusuno. Episode 7. With his plan set in motion, Hiroto cackles wickedly and asks Takami if she's worried. She reveals that she's exhausted and wants everything to end. Hiroto thinks about how his obsession to become a game master all began in 1999, when they mysteriously stumbled upon genetically advanced bodies, today known as Sekirei. The following day, Musubi gets visited by a Sekirei named Karasuba. After accidentally drenching Karasuba, Musubi welcomes her inside, where Karasuba reminds her of their old promise. When Matsu catches a glimpse of Karasuba, she scurries inside her chamber. Before leaving, Karasuba smirks at Homura, who instantly recognizes her as MBI's dog, the Black Sekirei. Later, upon opening the television, Hiroto announces that he has taken over the city. On doing more research, Matsu reveals that Hiroto is going to turn the city into a battleground. Meanwhile, Miya and Karasuba cross paths. The two battle with words, and it's revealed that Miya is ranked as the #1 Sekirei. Later, Musubi tells Minato the secret between her and Karasuba. She reveals that she must stay alive until the end and defeat Karasuba. Episode 8. As civilians attempt to flee the city, Haruka and his Sekirei, Kuno, try to escape but are caught by Haihane from the disciplinary squad. Homura observes the situation and realizes that Hiroto is adamant to see his plans of a grand battle royale till the end. As Minato calls Matsu for dinner, he learns that defeated Sekirei are typically cared for by their opponents until MBI retrieves them. However, a mysterious Sekirei has been leaving her opponents in near-death states. When Minato asks her that the Sekirei's actions could just be attributed to her being rude, Matsu explains that the victor must stay to show MBI who won, making the mysterious Sekirei's behavior puzzling. In the meantime, Uzume is seen in a hospital beside her sick ashikabi, Chiho. Later, a man named Kakizaki tasks Uzume to execute Kuno, reminding her that Chiho doesn't have much time left. Under a veil, Uzume strikes Kubo, who uses her power of whining against her. Tsukumi and Musubi are drawn to the sound and arrive at the scene. Uzume begins to hesitate, not wanting to fight her friends. Episode 9. Just as Tsukumi is about to deal Uzume a deadly blow, another Sekirei joins the battle. She announces her name as Kazehana and aligns herself with Uzume. With that, Kazehana directs an attack towards Tsukumi and vanishes away from Uzume. Upon returning home, Musubi drags Minato to meet with Haruka, who has been living with his Sekirei in his old apartment. While talking with Haruka, Minato finds out that he's a college reject and wishes to go to the same college as him. Haruka then reveals that he doesn't wish to participate in the battle royale as Kuno is pretty much useless. Sometime later, Minato reveals his plans of helping Haruka escape to Matsu. She informs him about the stakes of rebelling against MBI and Hiroto that has toiled hard for the Sekirei project to become a success. Episode 10. With the intention of saving Kuno and Haruka, Minato and his harem make their way over to Kaoru's place. After hearing the story, Kaoru decides to help, admitting that he too has a bone to pick with MBI. Once Tsukumi becomes aware of Kuno's plan to escape, she expresses her disgust towards the idea of running away. Reading her emotions, Miya asks her whether she's just envious of Kuno spending time with her ashikabi. Tsukumi then admits that she wants to be the strongest so she can spend the rest of her life with Minato. Understanding her desire to become strong, Miya states that she'll help her train. Meanwhile, Kaoru reveals that Teito is divided into 4 quadrants. He goes on to say that excluding the north, 3 of the remaining quadrants have been marked by different ashikabis. Hayato Mikogami holds the south. The west is controlled by a man named Sanada, and Higa holds dominance in the east. In the hospital, Uzume is approached by Kakizaki, who reveals that she has one chance to get Kuno, and once again reminds her that the life of her ashikabi is controlled by Higa. Kaoru then helps them formulate an escape plan, but reminds them that they'll still need to watch out for the blue, red, and black Sekirei. As Kuno apologizes to Haruka for causing him so much trouble, he lightly scolds her and tells her that she's his to protect. As a way to commemorate Kuno and Haruka's love, the Izumo Inn throws them a party. In the meantime, Hayato tries to get his hands on Shina. Episode 11. Natsuo asks his Sekirei, Karasuba, about the previous disciplinary team. She reveals that before he became her ashikabi, she worked with Yumo, who died saving a young Sekirei. In the meantime, Kazehana and Hamura sit on the rooftop, overseeing the escape plan. According to Kaoru's plan, Matsu will work to hack the MBI satellites for an hour, while a distraction will be created on the bridge to keep the soldiers occupied. During that time, Musubi and Minato will help Haruka and Kuno to escape through the railway bridge. Once the plan sets in motion, Kusuno neutralizes the soldiers while Hibiki and Hikari work together to create a wave of destruction. Meanwhile, Takami receives the news of the upheaval and begins to panic. Hiroto, on the other hand, smiles wickedly in anticipation. Their plan suddenly goes into disarray as Matsu finds the soldiers gaining on them. Once Minato asserts that he's going to save Kusuno from the soldiers, Matsu decides to lend a hand. With Kusuno safely secured, Matsu creates bigger diversions for MBI to deal with. In the meantime, Musubi faces the disciplinary squad. After an intense fight, Musubi loses her crest to the red Sekirei. Episode 12. Out of options, Kuno sings her deadly song to absorb most of the red and blue Sekirei's powers. Drained out of energy, Kuno falls down in Haruka's arms. Tsukumi arrives and finds Minato crying with Musubi in his hands. Anger takes her as she wreaks havoc upon the red and blue Sekirei. Unfortunately, the two Sekirei team up and push Tsukumi into a corner. The red Sekirei deduces that Minato will be a threat to her ashikabi, and tries to kill him, as Hayato sends his Sekirei Mutsu to catch Shina. Yukari gives him wings by making Shina her Sekirei. In the meantime, Yume awakens Musubi's body and eliminates the red and blue Sekirei. Matsu and Kusuno also arrive at the scene. Just as Karasuba raises her sword to attack Yume, her spirit disappears, and Musubi returns to her body. After seeing off Haruka and Kuno, Minato is engulfed by his Sekirei. And that's the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you in the next one.